Good morning, crafty friends. Today I'm going to be making some sparkle art. I have a dear friend who calls me Susie Sparkle. Why? Because I love to sparkle things up. Now, I can't remember whether I got this metal sparkle word at Hobby Lobby or if I got it at the thrift store. I think it was Hobby Lobby. And as soon as I saw it, I knew what I wanted to do. I had this nice long canvas in my stash, and the sparkle word fit perfectly across it. So the first thing I did was gave it a coat of Fusion Mineral Paint in coal black. And don't forget the sides. Just making sure that the acrylic paint is nice and smooth. And once you get the first coat on, then of course you need to dry it up really well. And Fusion Mineral Paint will dry by itself in about a half hour. You can wait between coats. But we in social media like to speed things up a bit. So here we go, second coat, and it will cover it perfectly, which is one of the reasons I love Fusion Mineral Paint. It's highly pigmented and it gets the job done quickly, even without the sped up video. Once again, we need to dry it up really, really well. Because the next step is going to be creating the background for our sparkle. Next, I'm going to pick out my sparkle. I ended up using a gold superfine glitter for my base. And here I'm just putting out a nice thick portion of Duraclear. I like Duraclear because it's a little bit thinner than Mod Podge and it dries quicker. So once I let it run down the canvas like that, I take my brush and I help it along a little bit, just bringing all of those points down toward the bottom of the canvas. Then I'm going to go crazy with my ultra fine glitter. That's the first layer. Then I take my unicorn disco glitter. I get this at Walmart and I love it because it has like an iridescent look to it. So I'm pulling out all the stops here, just really making sure that that Duraclear has all the spots covered. Then I just tapped it off on my desk and wiped it off and got my trash basket, swept it in, and then went over it with my little ladybug vacuum. That thing's a powerhouse. Wiped it down with a wipey. And now we're ready to proceed to the next step. Grab my wastebasket again, and with a soft brush, I'm just going in between the spots where there's no glitter and wiping it down once again. Once you have a clean surface or semi-clean, you need to dry it up. And I use the Duraclear as opposed to Mod Podge because it dries up a lot quicker than the Mod Podge, and you'll get to see the sparkle quicker. You can kind of see it already. It's pretty sparkly. Now I have to decide how I'm going to get that sparkle word to stay on my board. So I had these little cubes. They're wooden, and you can get them at the Dollar Tree. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. I decided just to go in and paint them with my gold by Folk Art I get at Walmart. It matched the word sparkle pretty well, and I'm just going to attach those little wood pieces to the word with B7000. Once I get them all painted up, then I'm going to dry them up. These little wood pieces dry very quickly because they're very porous and they soak up the paint. Now you can use E6000 or B7000. I'm using B7000 here on the one side of the little tiny blocks. And I'm putting them on the points on the back of the word sparkle where I think that they're going to touch the board, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let them kind of sit for a minute just so till they set up a little bit. I'm going to hit them with a little bit of heat and make sure that they're starting to their setup process before I start to move them. Here I'm grabbing my Tight Bond Quick and Thick, and I'm putting a good amount on the surface of each of those blocks and just kind of spreading it around. And just before I go ahead and flip that word onto the canvas, I'm going to give it a little extra insurance with just a dot of hot glue. And I'm going to let that set up for a second. And then I'm going to carefully flip it into place and let that Tight Bond Quick and Thick do its job. It's a wonderful glue. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to get into some more sparkle. You know, I'm Susie Sparkle, so I got to add a little bit more bling. I have these Aurora Borealis, or AB stones, as I call them. I do sell these in my Etsy shop, and I have a link to my link tree in the description of this video. They're a super high quality rhinestone, and they're the kind that people use in fancy dressmaking and things of that sort, like costuming. So they really do have a lot of sparkle. And what I'm doing is just going in and randomly, where I can, on the black part of the canvas, adding a dot of the B7000 and then applying them with my rhinestone applicator from Totally Dazzled. Then a quick dry to make sure they're set. And voila, check it out.
All right, I'm not going to hold it up too much because I don't want it sliding off or falling off, right? But I'll do that. There we go. Ta-da! Look at all that sparkle. Is that sparkle? It's sparkly, right? I love it. I think it's really pretty, and I think it'll only get prettier from here. I might see if I can get some more blocks and put some under some of these. We'll wait till tomorrow and see how strong it holds. And if I think it needs more, I'll get some more and add them underneath a couple of these longer letters, just in case. Thank you all so much for being here, you guys. Appreciate y'all. And give this a try. I mean, how easy was this? Sparkle art, right? Easy peasy. Just get yourself canvas and go at it. I found this. I'm pretty sure I got this this word at Hobby Lobby. Get yourself a word, or if you can do hand lettering or stencil the word sparkle on there, that would be really, really pretty. Give it a try. It's a lot of fun. Have a good night, guys. Love you all so very much.
Enjoying my videos? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.